Good morning, coffee moaners. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. It's Saturday, the 17th of January. How are we all? How is everyone as the world slips inexorably towards fascism? How are you hanging? Hi there, guys. Hi, guys. It's all becoming fascist. Hi. All our rights are being removed. Hi. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all doing well. I feel a little bit rebellious today, a little bit naughty, a little bit angry, a little bit smelly, possibly. How is everyone? Is everyone kind of 2026, man? It's got off to a cracking start, hasn't it? We're only 17 days in, and I want my money back now, please. Stop it all. Stop it. Who made January 31 days? Who would like to get back to the halcyon fields of Vlogmas and Christmas and festive? God, 2025 looks positively uneventful, doesn't it? What a quiet year 2025 was. How remarkable. Hi, Robert Marriott. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's well. Welcome to Saturday Morning. Of course, at 11 o'clock, we're going to be going to the Curly Cooks, but that doesn't interest anyone on podcasts because you can't watch them on podcasts because they don't do fucking podcasts. They cook in a kitchen. Do you get me? Only just hanging on, says Downstream Dotty. And I think that is the order of the day. Everyone is just hanging on. America is sliding into the end days of civilization. Trump wants that. I saw a fantastic meme the other day. I forget who it was. It was by the Chinese philosopher. Obviously, the Chinese philosopher didn't post it. They're long dead. But it said something along the side of a true dictator or a dictator, an egotist. Obviously, it was better than this. A true dictator doesn't mind if they're presiding over the ashes of an empire, as long as they're presiding over an empire. It doesn't matter if everyone's dead, everything's gone. They just want to be the head of the board. And unfortunately, that's the guy who used to present The Apprentice. That's his mission. I heard on social media, says Gabriel6326, that ICE agents are now going into hospitals and dragging patients out. It's absolutely frightening. I haven't seen that yet. I'm sure we will. You know what? One would normally say we have to be cautious. We have to wait and see. We have to work out if this is true. But then so much material is coming out of America. Here's my worry. Hola, Jill Taylor. Here's my worry. Who thinks it's only a matter of time before Trump, in an obvious sort of kind of moment of, he goes, maybe we need to stop Instagram. Maybe we need to put up a great big wall, a great big tech wall that stops people showing anything. What are you doing? Fuck, I've got a door, a wall. Go away. Fuck's sake. What do you have to do to get peace in here? Sorry for anyone who's listening, me shouting there. Anyway, you know, it's only a matter of time, isn't it? Before presumably everyone's not going to be able to post ICE clips, aren't they? ICE clips will be, you'll be done. It will be like, and all he has to do is, I'm amazed he hasn't done it. All he has to do is pick up the phone to, no, Nanny Di isn't at home. I'm going there straight after this, after Curly Cooks. She's not at home. And it's really annoying me, the lack of fucking information I'm getting. I'm amazed he hasn't got on the phone to Zuckerberg and said, if I were you, I wouldn't let the word ICE, baby, be a thing. Don't let it be a hashtag. Don't let it be a search term. Get rid of everything. Otherwise, I'm coming for you. Nobody does social media like that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I hope so, musical chimp. I won't read out what he said. So what are we talking about? Well, Trump's world slips towards total fascism. Today, it's a mixed bag. It's a little bit more like the news generally, but not from the mainstream media, because all the right-wing media are talking about today is fucking reform and fucking Kemi Badenoch with an even smugger fucking face smile on her fucking face. Anyone else sick of her smugness? And I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that Robert Jenrick, what's it called? Defecting? Yeah, defecting. I was thinking defecating. Robert Jenrick defecating to reform has apparently created a bounce for the Conservatives. Oh, yippee-dee-doo-dah. We're all so fucking thrilled that the Conservatives could be creeping back, because what's inevitably happening in this country, guys, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. What is happening in this country is going to follow exactly what's happened in America. And you know, we're going to have a conservative and reform coalition, and we are fucked. We are totally, I'm sorry, I want to, you know, and so the Green Party needs to play for the win. They need to play for the win. They need to go for the jugular. They need to roll out the caravans. We need to circle the wagons. We need to do all the analogies of getting vehicles out that don't use fucking petrol. We need to get out there and we need to kick some ass. Because if we don't, our situation, our system, our civilization is going to fall apart too. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about all of that. But yes, reform is the top topic in all the right-wing papers. They're all getting their knickers in a twist. They're all excited. Some don't know whether they're excited that it's good for Kemi Badenoch. Others don't know if they're not excited because it's kind of reform are more extreme. And oh, the Tories are stronger without people who don't believe in loyalty. Look, there she is looking so fucking smug. We are a party of conviction. You're also a party of unfairness, meanness, prejudice, firmly on the right. This is why and how we are different from reform. So there she is in the Telegraph, setting out her stall. We're bigger, we're better. We're Tories and all the rest of it. Exclusive poll for, well, they don't say who. Where is it? Oh, yeah, it's the Telegraph. Exclusive. Now, look, bear in mind, I've come to the opinion now that apart from when you have a poll like Trump's that says you've got 10% or minus 17% popularity, most polls are created, the diagrams are created as propaganda. So any Green supporter will look at this and go, will feel a sense of deflation and go, oh, and that's the point. That's what they want. Exclusive poll, Labour would face wipeout in cancelled elections. These are the local elections that they were going to. It's very odd, this story, that they were going to do and now they're not going to do. Reform at 28, Conservatives at 20. Obviously, put the two together. Doesn't take much mathematicals to work out that they would be a majority. And let's then put together the Greens and the Labour. If this was translated to a general election, oh, and Reform could still beat Labour and the Greens. It's not an encouraging poll. And some are suggesting the bounce has happened for both Reform and Green. And really now it's the long, arduous trudge to the top of the mountain, wherever that mountain is. But yeah, so the right-wing media, 11 Tory MP, well, this isn't right-wing media, but this is the Independent reporting, 11 Tory MPs on defection watch list over fears more could join Farage's. I'm getting this out of the way because I fucking hate Reform and they bore me. Far more fears more could join Farage's Reform. Now, here's the thing, team. Here's the thing, my compatriot moaners. If we go to war, will you go to war with us? Will you all be part of my army? Can any of you lift halberds? It's just a medieval thing that I've just thought of. I like the sound of a halberd. Is it a halberd or a halbard? Can we be... Do you think I might get blocked? I'm not encouraging us to create a militia, guys. We would be a militia of kindness and rational argument until you fucking wrong us and then we chop your toenails off. Reform would wipe the floor in my town, says Kaz Rowley. It's full of knuckle draggers. I love that phrase. Knuckle draggers indeed. Yes, I agree, MeTube. Mark's army fueled by coffee, says Deborah. MeTube says Reform will lose supporters as they become Tory 2.0. I like the 2.4. It's for anyone who's of an ancient disposition. That's like a new phone or a new update or an app update or software update. Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily good for Reform. And I think Reform, if I was Farage, or if I was the constantly smiling Richard Tice until he's asked an awkward question on television and then he turns into a nasty, nasty, nasty gremlin, I would say no more, please. No more Conservatives. We've got a full order of them. We don't need any more. Don't want any more Conservatives. You're beginning to make us uncool. I mean, it's easy to know what's going on. The more extremist Conservatives are going to Reform, which means in a minute, Kemi Badenoch will be going there too. She might sit behind a desk with a blue top on with her finger against her head. We know what you're up to, Kemi. In other news, Reform UK's London mayor candidate was condemned for her burqa, stop and search remarks. Layla Cunningham accused of endangering Muslims after saying it has to be assumed that people hiding their face are hiding them for a criminal reason. Ah, Go get all of little tiny Tommy's followers then, because they're all masking up. Does that make ICE baby by the same standard? Does that mean that ICE are all hiding their faces for criminal reasons? She's just let the cat out of the bag. If she's saying that wearing a burqa means you're a criminal, which is essentially what she's saying, quite remarkable. Let's have a look at this woman. She might want to hide her face after this. Reform UK's London Mayor candidate condemned for burqa stop and search remarks. Wow. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Last week, she said, no one should cover their face in an open society, adding it has to be assumed that if you're hiding your face, you're hiding it for a criminal reason. Go tell that to ICE baby. Trumpy pops. Your best friend across the pond. Me too. We can also split reform supporters into those protecting children. They want to protect children, but also support Musk's. They only want to protect children from people of ethnicity, though. It's a conditional kind of love. It's a conditional kind of love, I'm afraid. It's like a lot of those people standing outside asylum hotels. They only want to protect their kids from migrants. They don't care about white blokes, principally, being abusers. That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, Tommy Robinson even said that, didn't he, when he was in Dubai? Oh, look, thanks for that extra little smidgen of detail. We love you guys. Mark Holderness, 5011. Layla Cunningham, the woman who also said on the 6th of January she didn't want Jenrick anywhere near reform. 7 days in politics is a long time. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just, we don't even need to pretend. Politicians just lie. They lie to each other. They lie to themselves. They lie to their children. They do. It's truth. It's truth. So that's Layla Cunningham. And this is funny. Nigel Farage was tricked into paying tribute to the paedophile singer Ian Watkins in a cameo video. And boy, have I spent a bit of time this morning trying to find that video. Obviously, Ian Watkins, the awful, appalling paedophile who was imprisoned. I think he was a singer with the Lost Prophets, was it? He was murdered in prison by other inmates because he was just, I'm not saying, okay, one's not advocating the murder, but presumably they just found him so unedifying. And Nigel Farage was asked, cameo is that thing where you get paid to kind of go, happy birthday, Pete. Farage will give you a good old spanking with a cigar, that kind of thing. He did one for someone saying the Lost Prophets guy was a nice guy. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? I mean, someone's got to get hold of that fucking cameo clip. Someone has to get hold of it. This is being reported in The Independent. Former Lost Prophets frontman who was serving a 29-year sentence for child sex offences, who was stabbed to death in prison. The video was posted to Cameo, and in it, Nigel Farage says, Ian Watkins was a really good guy and he loved his children. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell. You've seen it. And he charged 80 quid for it, Martina McCone. Wow. Wow. That's your reform done. Okay. I thought it's a bit like, when you're delivered a plate of delicious looking meat and potatoes. Don't talk to me about them because I'm not eating them because I'm on keto. And you look around the plate and you go, oh, look, there's that bastard broccoli. And there's some runner beans, green beans. I'm going to eat them first to get them out the way. That's what I've just done with reform. Just eaten them, just done them, get them out of the way. Let's move on to the main event, which is fascism. So let's have a look. Okay, we're gonna move inexorably towards Trump, but this is a very funny meme, GIF. What the fuck are they? What is it when you have a photograph with a comment above it? Is it a meme? Anyway, this is Kathy Lett posted this. This makes me chuckle. We need to start a trend of Donald Trump being given, and for those listening, I'll explain what we're looking at. Donald Trump is receiving from Serena Williams her Wimbledon championship plate. And Kathy Lett has posted, Trump wins women's singles tennis championship. Trump heaped praise on Serena Williams for handing over to him a 2016 trophy prize for the best tennis Trump has done. Nobody does a backhand like Trump. Nobody does a rally. Deuce. I love deuce. I love it with my toast. I love it with my McDonald's deuce. We have to have him receiving everyone's prize. This guy has no shame. You know, obviously, for anyone who's unaware, this is riffing on the idea that that idiot winner of the Nobel Peace Prize who supports the genocidal regime of Israel gave her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump. He had no sort of, there's no lack of clarity for Trump. He's like, I've got this, now that means I've won it. What a moron. What an absolute moron. Let's get Trump, would you like a FIFA Peace Prize? Oh, that leading bastion organization of world peace, FIFA, gave him the inaugural Peace Prize. Do you remember that? It was bigger than the World Cup. So just queue up, just give him an award, give him something you've won. So if someone, maybe if Mark Ruffalo, has he won an Oscar? I don't know. If maybe Mark Ruffalo gets into trouble with Trump, just offer him your Oscar. Say, you deserve it, mate. You Home Alone, you were fantastic. He's such a loser, says Remade W. Oh, that made me chuckle. Whilst we're just talking, before I get jump, dig, dive, do something which involves going into something, I just want to show you another man who I find fucking repulsive. Peter Mandelson. He needs to disappear for a very long time, says Daniel Boffey and Pippa Crerar in The Guardian. Has he? This is the guy, best mates, apparently. He always, whenever he does an interview, this fucker, he always sits a little bit like Rees Mogg, so far back in the chair with his legs out and his head back. It's like, couldn't be fucking asked. Are you sure you want to ask me a question? He's so sure of himself. So sure of himself. Sharon Carter, I won long distance swimming trophy when I was 19. Should I present him with that? Give him a bell. He might come to your gaff and he'll take it off you. Oh, God. Anyway, let's not forget Mandelson's defense of not knowing what his best mate was up to with his grooming girls, despite there being photographs of him having some deuce served to him on Epstein's Island, was I was gay. So when you arrived at Epstein's Island, the gayers would go to the left and the groomers presumably would go to the right. What really? What, it was that clear? It was that delineated? And then when you stayed at his house after he'd been prosecuted or after he'd been charged, to pretend you didn't know what was going on. And so still the big news story, I didn't touch on it last week, was Mandelson refused to apologize. He said, well, I'm sorry for a system that doesn't deliver justice for victims of the grooming gang, but I'm not going to apologize. For, you know why he's not going to apologize? Because if he apologizes in any way, shape or form, and it's a big if, because I don't think it's going to happen, if there were any perchance further investigation down the way, they could then say, but you apologized for what he did. So what did you know? He has to claim he knows nothing, but he's used the gay card. Curious. I found him unedifying in government. In fact, he's the first of two Blairites that we're going to talk about today. The other Blairite is Blair. Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking like an absolute rat. Okay, so let's just get rid of him. I'm just moving through some of these stories. Okay, so Trump and Greenland. Trump doesn't care, does he? It is we need Greenland. He's a broken record. Apparently, there is something like 7% of the American population in any way supports the possibility of him annexing Greenland. 7. It's not popular. People aren't behind it. Europe are sending a few more troops there. I don't know what for. Maybe just to kind of go, we're here really. We hadn't forgotten about Greenland. So maybe, you know, maybe that's good for Greenlanders. But anyway, Trump's pushing. Anyway, so he's now said in true mafiosa style, his next gambit, absolute fucking moron, is this. Trump threatens tariffs on countries that oppose his Greenland takeover. So if you don't support him, he's going to... So what's Starmer going to do now? Starmer the Gimp, the Starmer with his testicles sellotaped literally to the back of 10 Downing Street's front door. What's he going to do now? How's he going to peel the sellotape off and staple them somewhere else? Totally humiliated. Totally BDSM'd in the corner, tied, bound and gagged in the corner of an office in 10 Downing Street by Trump. Starmer, who can say nothing, do nothing, be nothing, feel nothing, enact nothing. He's nothing. Starmer is nothing. And so now if really Trump's going to threaten every country that doesn't support his Greenland annexation with a 25% tariff, as we've discovered with Starmer, he'll do anything for low tariffs. It's my thing. It's my thing. Please threaten me with tariffs. I love it, Donald. I love it, Donald, when you threaten me with tariffs. Sellotape my testicles, please, to the front door of 10 Downing Street. Donald, you really don't want to do this. Starmer, you really don't want to do this. If you don't support me, I'm gonna slice your testicles off one by one and saute them with a I don't know, a Diet Coke from McDonald's. Oh, yes, I'm going to do that. Nobody sautés testicles just like the Donald. Sorry, I don't know where I've gone there. So let's have a listen to Donald.
After another, I called Germany. No, we will not do that. I said, no, we're going to put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more than they would have to pay by raising the drug, like 7 times. This wasn't like a little bit more, 7 times more.
What are you talking about?
And I may do that for Greenland too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
Oh, Donald, please, hit me with your tariff stick. Hit me. I'm going to hit you hard. I'm just imagining Donald doing sort of hide and seek around 10 Downing Street. Oh, he's such a blithering idiot. That thought just came to him, didn't it? I think I'll put 25% tariffs on anyone who doesn't support me. Because it's mafiosa. But it's not even cool mafiosa. It's not even cool mafiosa. It's bad mafiosa. Let's put 25% tariffs on Starmer. No, that's too simple. It's too obvious. Oh, it's just ridiculous. So he's going to put tariffs on Greenland. There you go. Trump. But hang on. We're going to move on to that in a second. But before we move on to the unedifying details of the Gaza board, we've had Trump on Greenland. Who fancies a bit more Caroline Leavitt? Who fancies some more sort of abuse? Yeah? Abuse. Let's do it. Let's go to Caroline Leavitt.
He's talked twice in recent days, once at the Kennedy Center and then to Reuters again last night about canceling the election. Why is he talking about this?
I believe you're referring to the president's interview at Reuters last night. I was in that interview. It was a closed-door interview. Obviously, there was not audio or video. The president was simply joking. He was saying, we're doing such a great job. We're doing everything the American people thought. Maybe we should just keep rolling. But he was speaking facetiously.
To follow up on...
Did I hear the Trump regime use the term facetiously? When I hear such a corrupt, fascistic regime suddenly use the word facetiously, there's a Shangri-La moment, or there's a moment, because you go, they really do know what they're doing. You couldn't use the word facetiously there unless you knew everything that was going on. If everything was deceitful, everything is deceitful. So he was talking facetiously. I wonder what Donald Trump thinks the word facetiously means. He probably thinks it's to do speaking with shit in your mouth. I'm talking facetiously. She doesn't care that it's all out there. Just like the Zionists don't care that the proof is out there. that they committed a genocide. This is the slow, inexorable, meat grinding trudge through the no man's land of stepping away from bad, illegal, oppressive, fascist behavior. And the trudge is just denial, 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 denial. And denial isn't just a river in Egypt, guys. It's denial, denial, denial. Let's listen to the rest of what she said. So was he joking about the midterms? Was he joking about the elections? Me too. I wish I could believe you that midterms are going to happen. Do you think the midterms are going to happen? But in the states that matter, it's all going to be manipulated in such a way that they can't vote, maybe.
Colleagues who asked you about the president's interview with Reuters, you said that he was joking about canceling the elections, but Americans for generations have fought and died for democracy, for this democracy. Are you saying that the president finds the idea of canceling elections funny?
Andrew, were you in the room? No, you weren't. I was in the room. I heard the conversation, and only someone like you would take that so seriously and pose it as a question in that way.
Only you, Simon, would take the notion of removing elections and the destruction of whatever notional democracy we've got seriously. I mean, he was being facetious. Only you would think that he was being, Caroline, are you seeing what you're doing to the country? Oh, I bet her fridge, I bet the shelves in her fridge are really ordered. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to put anything back out of place. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Let's see what ICE are up to, shall we? First of all, a Sky News team in the back of a car encounter ICE. ICE, baby.
This is your one warning, okay?
This is the soundtrack to life in Minneapolis. Word has spread of ICE immigration agents patrolling this area, and a community of activists spring into action.
Get his ass! Get his ass!
This black SUV in front is another car that people suspect of being ICE, and that's why you hear the beeping and the whistles again.
A network of volunteers communicate via a secure messaging platform.
Can I get a plate check on...
Hang on. So are you getting this? So this is Sky News undercover with citizens of America having to organize to know where ICE agents are, what junctions they're on, what neighborhoods they're entering. This is petrifying, guys. And America is allowing this to happen. Where are the Democrats today? I mean, to be brutally honest with you, and we're going to talk about it in a moment, the Minnesotan, this is a big story that's breaking. I'm going to have to sort of just scroll through some of my other headlines to find the appropriate image for you. But, you know, at the same time, look, Minnesota leaders decry targeting. So Tim Walz and Jacob Frey, governor and mayor, are they, of Minnesota, Minnesotan Democrat leaders, the government, the American government has threatened to investigate them, threatened to prosecute them for, for getting in the way of ICE actions and ICE procedures and what have you. So, and that's a real attempt to kind of, go for the, in Republican terms, go for the head of the snake and all this kind of stuff. But what you've got here with Sky News is they're embedded with a sort of, I don't want to use the term because it's always pejorative and negative, but a vigilante. Isn't it funny how we pick and choose the resistances that we allow and follow and champion? So, for example, in World War II, the French resistance, we always think of that with a kind of romance, don't we? A sort of, wow, that was the French resistance. If you're rational, you think of the ANC's iteration when apartheid was in place as, okay, Nelson Mandela fighting for freedom. Resistance. When you think of Martin Luther King, resistance, and you think, yeah, okay, this got good results. But when it's Arabs, when it's people who are a little bit brown, Muslims, it's not resistance. It's just terrorism. It's radical Islam. The fact that America is radical Christianity and radical Zionism doesn't seem to matter. But radical, it's all Islam's fault. It's all Islam's fault. So we'll just go back to the Sky News clip.
Kilo 77 Florida plate. That one is confirmed. All right.
Modelled on a police dispatch call.
They were both traveling together. The Florida expedition just took a U-turn.
Just right at the lights.
We're riding along with one of them. Within half an hour, we're surrounded by a team of ICE officers. This is our first interaction.
This is your one warning, okay? Following us, we'll take all of you.
Those officers just approached the car and they said if we in this car continue to impede them, that they'll break the windows.
We're going to take you out of the vehicle, and we're going to forcefully take you out of the vehicle. We're going to take you out of the vehicle. You're on camera, okay?
A while later, they're back again. Still, no laws have been broken. 3,000 ICE officers have been sent to Minneapolis, some of them with only a couple of months' training.
It's happening faster, more extremely, and with more publicity than it happened in late 1930s Germany, mid to late 1930s Germany. That's what, for me, as a kind of, had studied history, the interwar history, pre-World War I, World War II history. When you look at the preconditions of what led to fascism in Germany, what we have here is we have fascism across the globe growing. We have it being filmed. We don't have it being hidden, like the genocide. Everyone in the Israeli regime, the Zionist fascist regime of Israel, told us what they were going to do, showed us what they were doing, and they've done it. And the silence and the complicitness of people like Starmer with his testicles sellotaped to the back of the 10 Downing Street door, they've just, in allowing it, they have done, their appeasement has been far, far worse, and I would argue will result in far more egregious consequences for the globe than old Neville Chamberlain waving a white piece of paper with Hitler's signature on it that is always seen in the study of history as the moment he was a total flimsy, weak leader. This is far worse. This is being filmed. This is out there. This isn't being hidden. And so that means that there's an appetite for it. Much more, it's much worse, much worse, and happening in the seats, the countries that theoretically, prior to the fascism of World War II in Germany, are the beacons theoretically, though we know it's always been a construct. I mean, this is the problem we're in. What we're seeing now is nothing necessarily new. It's more extreme, I would say. But basically, the wool has been pulled back. And for anyone who struggles with the complexities of international politics, let me give you one simple metaphorical analogy for all of this. Huge numbers of people saw The Wicked, The Wizard of Oz. We all know the story. And what's the reveal that was the great big disappointment and shock for me as a child was they pulled the great big green curtains back, and controlling everyone was a tiny little man telling people what to think, explaining to people who they should hate. And it was like, oh, this is all manufactured consent. Well, that's been the case for decades for us too. But we are at a pinch point now. We're at a pinch point, and we are in danger. I mean, social media platforms there's a clock ticking for all of us. Because at some point, they're not stupid in their oppression of people and oppression of ideas, and in Israel and Zionist oppression of challenging the genocide. They will come after social media outlets. They will look for ways. I mean, they have already, but they'll do it in a more obvious fashion. They'll do it like there'll be a ban on showing ICE clips and stuff like that. This is bad. This is really bad. But always, even within a storm, there are moments of lightness, and this isn't moment of lightness at all. But I do wonder whether one of the strategies we should all adopt is what this chap, who is about to be absconded and arrested by ICE, has adopted. We saw someone else do it last week with a giraffe. This is a fox being arrested. I mean, foxes are a bit of a headache in our garden too. So, you know, maybe there was some justification for the heavy-handed arrest of a fox clearly doing a, you know, it's the way his camera stayed on its tripod. I mean, that's quite remarkable. You're right, Mark, says Rachel Thomas. It will hit us all. We need to have alternative ways of communicating. Yeah, I'm thinking of smoke signals. I'm thinking of getting a barrel, and we'll have to get a sort of Morse code of cloud. We need to counter the Britain is broken narrative of the hard right. When we agree with them on that, we are enabling them. Yeah, but maybe Britain is broken in different ways for different people. And as a sentence, it fits. I think Britain is broken because of the popularity of fascists. So I would say Britain is broken. I'd say Britain is broken because of the popularity of fascists. And as Rachel Thomas says, pigeons. Pigeons are a fucking nightmare, though they're very intelligent. They're very, very intelligent. Just want to move on. So just want to, listen to this. Again, I can't verify the source of this, but this was doing the rounds yesterday. If this is true, and I believe it possibly is, listen to this. This is a kind of audio clip that's doing the rounds on Instagram. Listen to this. Close your doors. They're here above that sort of, on that audio. There is a sort of a graphic for those listening that says "Volume up. This is America in 2026." Quite petrifying, quite frightening, especially if anyone has seen the film Zone of Interest. And the film Zone of Interest, which of course I'm not suggesting yet that America is like Auschwitz, but what was remarkable about the film Zone of Interest is you don't see the horror, you hear the horror. There's a film that you see, and then there's a film that's been cut on the audio track. And that really is what makes it such a haunting film about the passivity of the Germans during World War II when people were being, you know, industrially processed at Auschwitz. I was getting something similar with that. It's like, wow, the soundtrack, sometimes just sound, hearing the fear, hearing the whistles, there's also another film called After Hours by Martin Scorsese. It's an underestimated one. I think it's underestimated? Yeah, one of his kind of real kind of, it's more niche film that he made. It's about a guy who gets lost in Soho, but there's a moment in that where a vigilante group is whistling and chasing him down in the streets. We're there. This is frightening. This is really fucking frightening. That audio, thank you, Nadine Kassan. It is frightening, isn't it? It is. Somewhere in the USA, says the Mandy Musi, is an Anne Frank. You're absolutely right. Underrated. Thank you very much. Thank you, Laura Nolan. And also, sorry for having a go at pigeons. You were suggesting homing pigeons. Fantastic. Yeah. Let's get, but what about the poor pigeons? Maybe they don't want to be our homing pigeons. Got to think about the pigeons. Think about the pigeons. So I want to move over towards, I just want to check. Oh, here's some more. Let me show, because me and Nadia find so many really empowering, really neat, nifty kind of phrases and statements and memes and what have you. And they sometimes speak to the truth. And please screenshot them and spread them and share them and show them to people, because there's so much cleverness out there. There's so much articulacy. There's so much ability to encapsulate the inherent horrors of what's going on in such a sort of catchy way that makes you go fucking hell. And I just think that's such a skill. People ignore that sort of aspect of social media. It's not just scrolling. There's a lot of really creative thought goes into it. And here's a couple of Council Estate Media on X says, if you want to know how fucked the US is, just know that the ICE agent who killed Rennie Good is now a millionaire due to online fundraisers. Only in America. Me, Nads, and the girls last night rewatched Childish Gambino's "This Is America" pop video, for want of a better expression. Go and check it out. Fucking hell, it's incredibly arresting, and it's incredibly appropriate for now. It really is. I think this is just shocking. They set up a crowdfunding page, and now he's a millionaire. Wow. Okay, so what message does that send to other ICE agents? Shoot someone in an ambivalent way, and you might become a millionaire. What? The only thing safe in the United States right now, says Brad, is the Epstein files. I thought, again, funny, dark, twisted, but true. The only thing safe in the United States right now are the Epstein files. Jamie Bonkovitz if you're pro-life and siding with ICE after they tear-gassed a 6-month-old baby, you're not fucking pro-life. See what I mean? So simple, so obvious, so crass. Barbarism. I said it about 10 years ago to Naz. I said, we are entering a neo, as in new, barbarism. And we were, I think I said it. I was a bit of a party poop. I think we were having a celebration. I said I was having a bit of a dab, probably in a bipolar dip. But every now and then it's funny. Naz goes, God, Mark, do you remember when you said we're entering? We are. And a lot of people say, oh, why cry over spilt milk? Why only think about this stuff? Because if you don't think about it, you are complicit in letting it happen. Nazi Germany happened because the vast majority of the population let it. And to be honest with you, the vast majority of the German population wouldn't have known about it because there wasn't fucking social media. So if you're turning a blind eye to this shit, you are actively circumnavigating all of it. So it's not a choice. For me, it's not a choice. For Nads, it's not a choice. It is the state of existence right now. You have to manage those times when you're away from it, which we try to do. But you are actually being irresponsible as a human to ignore it, I think, personally. Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure I've kind of moved through the headlines. So we've done Trump threatening to tax everyone if they don't support him about Greenland. Trump appoints Blair, Kushner, and Rubio to the Gaza Board of Peace. And if you Blair, Kushner, and Rubio named for Gaza Board of look at his face. I mean, I don't sign up to the conspiracy theory that those in control are lizard people. But I take one look at Tony Blair's face and I think, maybe David Icke's got a point. Look at those gnashers. I mean, he looks like he looks like Venom when he's changed. Or the Joker, Jen. I mean, yeah. Oh, this story is just, America. Steve Witkoff moves to phase 2 of the Gaza peace plan. Meanwhile, over 100 babies have been killed since the ceasefire. I think yesterday, DropSite News were reporting 12 Palestinians were killed yesterday. The killing hasn't stopped. The ceasefire hasn't happened. The ceasefire is a ceasefire simply because America and Israel have said it's a ceasefire. And we don't have anyone in any public-facing position in the media, the mainstream media, because no one listens to the independent media in government, or in government, saying, actually, you keep breaking the ceasefire terms. There is no ceasefire. Moving sort of on towards phase 2 is irrelevant. But the funny thing is, phase 2, which will also include the demilitarization of Gaza, fascinated to see how Hamas deal with that, or even Netanyahu's like saying it's notional, the shift to phase 2. I mean, even Netanyahu's sort of saying, well, hang on a minute, I don't know if we're going to get, because he doesn't want to get to any phase. He wants it to go on for, he wants a never-ending war with everyone in the region. He just wants constant war in the region. By the way, the White House, the American government have signed off on another $3.3 billion to go to Israel. Where does it all go? I mean, where does it all go? They get more money from America. And then apparently America's stopped all money to every other fucking institution in the world. So I just want to take you through, here we go. The Middle East Eye has done a really good job of Trump's new Gaza board are all staunch Israel supporters. You've got Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, Tony Blair, Arya Lightstone, Mark Rowan, Ajay Banga, and Robert Gabriel and Josh Grunbaum. And they move through them. Marco Rubio, defining voice for US-Israel policy. He says that in the West Bank, Israel is not an occupier. The territories are disputed. These are the people running the future. These are the people running the future of Gaza and the West Bank too. Yeah, okay. Jared Kushner, chief architect, got the deal of the century. Instrumental in the 2020 Abraham Accords, a move widely viewed by Palestinians as a betrayal of the Arab consensus on statehood, described the Gaza Strip as a waterfront property that could be very valuable. Nice. They're really looking at this in terms of through the lens of the Palestinian people, aren't they? Arya Lightstone, a businessman and rabbi, He's been heavily involved in the creation and advancement of that incredible organization, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which summarily executed Palestinians when they sought aid. Do you remember that? Great, he's part of it too. Tony Blair, former British PM's legacy in the region, defined by the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Many Palestinian officials feel that Blair is merely an Israeli diplomat. During his time as envoy, Blair sided with the US and Israel in boycotting Hamas after they were elected in 2006. His institute has faced scrutiny for receiving funding from donors linked to Israeli settlements. Oh, I feel so confident for the Palestinians. Does anyone else? I feel like, oh, they're all riding in on a white steed to make life good for the Palestinians after Israel genocided them all. Not. Mark Rowan, one of the wealthiest financiers on Wall Street, worth an estimated $10.2 billion. The 63-year-old Jewish American is the CEO of Apollo Global Management. In an interview last year, Mark Rowan said, "I'm a proud supporter of Israel." As pro-Palestine protests spread across the US, Rowan denounced them as, "It's not anti-Semitism, it is anti-Americanism." Oh, he's so going to have the Palestinians' vested interests at heart. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Josh Greenbaum, elevated to a senior advisory role on Gaza, despite having no to little background in foreign policy. Greenbaum gained prominence in the admin for leading the financial crackdown on US universities over pro-Palestine activism. He personally signed letters threatening to terminate federal contracts with Harvard and Columbia. He's been a central figure in vetting private contractors for operations in Gaza, including involvement in reviewing a $1.7 billion aid proposal from a US contractor known for running a detention center called Alligator Alcatraz. Anyone feeling confident? Anyone feeling confident for the Palestinians? Steve Witkoff, billionaire real estate investor, one of Donald Trump's closest allies. His ceasefire proposal, fully coordinated with Israel, explicitly avoids guaranteeing an end to Israel's war on Gaza. Oh, I suddenly feel entirely hopeful. Not that more men in ties are going to just solidify and what's the word? They're gonna sort of complete and legitimize and basically manage an entire crime scene. As I've said many times before, the whole hurry and desire to build on the Gaza Strip is in order to completely hide all evidence of a Holocaust-style genocide. If you want to talk about industrial devastation of a population, you only have to look at any image of the Gaza Strip. It's industrial. And what's coming in? Industry, to build on the bones of the Palestinians. And this bunch of men in ties, I had a good old rant about men in ties yesterday, Sally Beadle, absolutely right. Men in fucking ties. Ooh, yeah, I wonder whether we could build another $45 million penthouse on the Gaza Strip. So you can't wait to look out at the oil fields and the gas fields as we take the Palestinians' natural reserves. There are some Palestinian technocrats on the board too, but who wonders whether they'll be given the same space and the same strength? There's a new flotilla being pulled together, though. And on that, if you had any hope or thought or belief that the Democrats and the possible leader of the Democrats at the next presidential election, if there's one, have in any way understood or comprehended the severity of what Israel have done, listen to this chat with Gavin Newsom. Oh, yeah, listen to this.
Commit a genocide in Gaza. There is no standard by which Israel committed a genocide in Gaza, just on a factual level.
Just as a legal and factual level.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of this?
My opinion is, I understand the tendency for people to make that, to assert that.
Why?
On the basis of the images and the proportionality as it relates
shit doesn't mean genocide.
No. And by the way, I agree with you.
Oh, okay. So it's because, of course, he's paid by AIPAC. This This is the Israeli lobby group making sure everyone just stays on board. It's just petrifying. Now, we're getting rapidly closer to the 11 o'clock moment. I just want to share with you just quickly, because we're on Gaza and we, you know, what did phase 1 actually deliver? Al Jazeera have done a really useful, please screenshot this and read it if you can. The US has announced launch of phase 2, but what did they achieve? What did they actually deliver in phase 1? Did they deliver a halt on attacks? No. Israeli attacks decreased, but 449 Palestinians have been killed, 1,246 injured. Think about that. That's since the ceasefire. That's since the ceasefire. Nearly 500 have been killed. Israeli captives returned. That's been delivered. All living captives released. One deceased captive's body remains under the rubble. Wow. By the way, rubble that Israel created. So that's tick. Oh, good. So it's worked for Israel. Number 3, Israeli withdrawal. No, Israel continues to extend beyond the yellow line. Satellite imagery yesterday has shown the yellow blocks being moved further and further into, encroaching upon the tinier and tinier strip of Gaza. Literally, satellite signal showing that. Where's the outcry? Where is everyone? Starmer, unpeel those testicles, matey flip. Nothing there, nothing from anyone at all. Full humanitarian aid? No. Israel continues to restrict aid and has banned many international organizations from operating. Opening of the Rafah crossing, a key lifeline for aid, travel, and medical evacuations, remains closed. World's media allowed in unfettered? No. So nothing has changed apart from Israel got what they wanted. Who said that when the deal was struck? Who said that? We're not the only ones. Everyone who's never trusted the Israeli regime. People have been plugged into the Middle East or the Arab world for way longer than October the 7th, way beyond that. Knew what was coming. When you're in an abusive relationship with someone, you know what's coming. Oh, this despairing, the poor Palestinians. And just to add insult to injury, I just want to play you this last clip. It's quite a nuanced clip, but it's important because I don't share the positive vibes of, oh, one day there will be a judgment day, they'll go to The Hague. A lot of activists do. I don't. And I don't mean to be a party poop on that. I just think we're barking up the wrong tree if we think there's ever going to be a moment where there's a hallelujah moment where the awfulness of what's happened over the last 2.5 years is ever acted on. Look at it, America is rapidly taking us to a place of total devastation in terms of its culture and society, and that will slip into the rest of the world. To make the intention is to make Gaza literally seem small fry comparatively to everything else. That's why Netanyahu wants war with Iran. That's why many of the supporters of Israel in America want war with Iran, so that it obliterates, eclipses, removes any focus or ability to focus on issues in the Gaza Strip. And you've got Democrats potentially who could come in who can't even agree that a genocide has been committed. But then behind all of this is this guy, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League in America, responsible for chasing people. I think they were responsible for putting a marker on Miss Rachel, targeting anyone who talks against what Israel's done as anti-Semitic. Listen to this guy, CEO of the Anti-Defamation League.
I mean, social media is a super spreader of anti-Semitism and hate. And people like Nick Fuentes, they're like patient zero spreading this. And it doesn't help us that when given the opportunity, people in positions of power don't renounce this guy. Now, look, to his credit, J.D. Vance has done that. But we have this challenge right now on the right, and it's like a good thing because there are bad voices who've been elevated. Like, look, Nick Fuentes is disgusting. Tucker Carlson is disgusting. Candace Owens is disgusting, and so on. But there have been good people like Ted Cruz and Ben Shapiro.
So all bad people to a Zionist are just people who disagree with you. So anyone who disagrees with Zionists, they're just automatically bad people, and they should have all their civil liberties removed. I mean, how can you sit there and not describe this as a fundamentalist approach? Anti-Zionism isn't anti-Semitic.
Who are pushing back on these, Speaker Johnson, pushing back on these revolting lunatics. So to answer the question, I think the only way we are going to defeat the rising anti-Semitism on the right is from the right. So what I try to do at ADL, what we try to do is to provide data, is to provide tools, is to step up, but often quietly behind the scenes.
They're telling us what they're doing, quietly behind the scenes, looking at data, looking at uploads, quietly behind the scenes. Social media is the reason for anti-Semitism. They don't ever deal with social media is the reason that the vast majority of people in the world saw the genocide live streamed by the IDF, by the Israelis. No one accounts for that. It's like, that's no, anti-Semitism on social media has happened from a standing start. No, anti-Israel, anti-Zionist is different to anti-Semitic. And it's happened because people couldn't stomach the atrocities they were seeing. But listen to this, it gets worse.
Doesn't help. I don't think it helps the Jewish people, and it doesn't disarm them when I go after Nick Fuentes or Hassan Piker, a revolting person. You should call him Hamas Piker. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists. We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts, short form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI.
There you go. 40 people. Oh, how can we prove we're always victims? How can we prove we're always victims? Israel is a victim. We commit a genocide. Everyone needs to know that we're victims. What's an extremist in their eyes? Anyone who calls out a genocide. Wow. Wow. Quietly, diligently, data centers, checking everything out, keeping tabs on everyone, feeding this information to the FBI. And we wonder why we hear no opposition in America. Well, because they're worried about these bear traps that are being set everywhere. We are in the slow aftermath of a continuing genocide, but we're in the slow aftermath of Israel, America, and the corrupt West mopping up. Do you remember the character in Pulp Fiction? And then I'll stop. The Harvey Keitel character, was it Mr. Fix-It or whatever, came in with a briefcase and he just cleared the crime scene of all the brain and blood and everything. America, Israel, and the West, and Starmer with his testicles sellotaped to the ceiling of fucking Downing Street. That's what they're doing. Let's tidy this all up. Let's get rid of those voices that are anti. Let's mop it all up. Mr. Wolf, thank you, the cleaner. They're cleaning it. Pulp Fiction style-y. Tarantino, Zionist style-y. Let's clean this up. Let's clear all evidence of the history. Let's make sure that only Israel were the victims. Let's pretend that the genocide didn't happen. Let's build on the crime scene. And then let's remove all those voices that said anything at any point so they can never pop up again. Hey, bingo. And that, if you say it, is somehow an anti-Semitic trope. No, it's a Zionist fact. And on that, see you in 5 minutes for some food. Thanks, guys, for all your comments. Thank you.